Right, bang! We're back with another video, and this is going to be we're going to talk about Suits, the Netflix series. If you watched it, then you're going to enjoy this. If you haven't, then just watch it anyway because then you'll get an insight into the characters. And we're going to basically just talk about the characters and their personalities, and we're going to go off the underrated characters to say. So I'm just going to start off with Donna. So, what are you guys' thoughts on Donna? Like, how important do you think she is? Like, we know how important she is, but do you think she gets overlooked sometimes, like her importance?
I'd say for like the pure fact that Harvey takes on like the main character when Mike leaves, and Donna's like what really makes like Harvey actually work. And like when Donna's not there, like you could see when like she took over, she was like working with Lewis instead of Harvey, and like Harvey like falling like to pieces. He was having loads of panic
Yeah,
attacks.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I think she's like the glue that holds like the whole firm together.
yeah, she is. That's probably the best way to describe her because
yeah,
Harvey's the truth is Harvey is the most valuable asset to the firm. Person who has any form of control over Harvey is Donna. You
Yeah,
could say that Jessica does as well, but mainly Donna.
yeah, mate, I'd say.
yeah,
No, I don't think
and
Jessica
you could
does really
definitely.
have much of a hold over him, but
I think Jessica
But
sort of
he
like
listens to her.
leaves.
true, yeah, I guess. But he's still,
Yeah,
Donna won't let Harry. Donna won't let Harvey make the wrong decision.
yeah, yeah,
Like, what I'm saying? She'll happily tell him if he's doing something wrong. Even whether he listens or
yeah.
not, she said it.
I think like Donna can function without Harvey, but Harvey can't function without Donna.
Yeah, because remember when she left?
Yeah,
Like, when she got fired over the whole situation.
just like her presence being there gives him the confidence to do what he wants to do.
Yeah, because he knows that if he knows if something goes wrong, well, it just won't go wrong because she's not going to let anything go wrong because she has everything organized. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah, definitely.
possibility of anything going wrong is really low.
hmm
That's why I rate her so much. I think she's underrated. She's always done good. Like even with when she got fired, she didn't get fired for a bad like reason. What she did was
Yeah,
for Harvey's like well-being.
she's like really consistent. And then like as secretary to become the COO of the company, it just
She
like
loved her.
shows how important she is. Yeah, she did love. Well, she did
Like
like sort of
properly.
blackmail Harvey.
The thing is, at that point when that happened, I was like, is there even anyone working in the firm anymore? There's like 5 people, and they're all just like the highest people.
Yeah,
Because like we're just leaving.
yeah,
What about? Oh yeah, so another character who actually eventually got a high position. Um. Oh, how much her name? Oh, the blonde one,
who?
Katrina.
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 Katrina. Yeah,
Yeah, she developed as a character like really well.
yeah,
Because remember, she was
yeah,
like quite shy originally and stuff.
yeah. She like her personality like grew as well. Like even when she left Robert Zane's firm, yeah, and then she made that deal with Lewis to like get back, and she made that deal so that he can like
Yeah, she
remove the
basically
non
like
competes.
she was clever there. Yeah,
Yeah, she's probably one of the most clever, like in terms of like if you look at the things she's done, like to do that to Robert Zane.
yeah,
Like,
exactly.
she's probably
And
one of the most clever characters.
they show Robert Zane to be like one of the smartest characters as well. So the fact that she did it to him and she worked it
Yeah,
her way around him, that also as the series progressed, she developed more of that loyal, like that rough mindset where it's like you don't care. Like
yeah.
she
yeah,
cared, she started to care less about people's feelings in the
She had
good
like
way.
different priorities throughout,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because obviously she
and
was
then
having that
even
relationship with what's his name, Brian.
yeah, I was just gonna say yeah,
Then that ended.
even like when she wanted that relationship, she knew that it couldn't continue. So like she knew what she had to do to like
Yeah, and she
make sure
made
that
the right
that wasn't like a
decision.
barrier. Yeah,
She learned a lot from Lewis. To be fair, to Lewis,
he was a
she
good
wouldn't
mentor.
be who she is without Lewis.
Yeah, 100%.
And she was always there for Lewis as well. When he was all like upset, she was there.
Yeah,
All round, she's a good character. I think her being in there. At first, I was like, is she adding anything? And then you realize she is adding something. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, she that slowly just increased with importance
Yeah.
and like her input to the firm.
Because at the start, you do think like, is there really any need? Do you know what I mean? Of her being in there.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you got any other characters in mind?
What about Jeff Malone? What we're saying about him?
He wasn't really in there for long though, was he?
Yeah, but it showed like Jessica. She was like showed such a strong like persona, yeah. And then
Oh
Jeff
yeah,
Malone
yeah,
was
yeah.
like her one weakness. Like
Yeah,
she
that's so
even
true.
like even when she went to Chicago and she said to Jeff she was going to go anywhere. He was
Yeah.
still like a small factor in her deciding
No,
that.
he
And
was.
the
Yeah,
fact that
he influenced it a little bit.
the fact he came into that thought process when she was such like a business minded woman and she like showed to be so strong just shows like how important he was
Because
in her life.
throughout the whole thing, Harvey's shown to like lack emotion. Like, you know what I'm saying, like not really care too much about what other
Yeah,
people think. And then you learn that he kind of gets that a bit from Jessica. But then you finally see that Jessica does have emotion, and they humanize her a bit with Jeff Malone. Like
yeah.
humanize
And
her. Do you know what I mean?
even when she takes the fall for Mike, it just shows how
Yeah,
great
that
of a
showed a lot.
character she is.
But
How
you
much
could
she
tell she
cares
did.
about
She
the
did
firm.
warm to Mike. She warmed to Mike as it went on.
Yeah,
Everyone warmed to Mike. They just loved him because he couldn't do any wrong. The only thing that he did was wrong was literally not actually go to Harvard. But apart from that, like the things he did for the firm,
yeah. He was a better lawyer than most of the lawyers in that firm anyway.
yeah, I don't think he was far off from Lewis
He's probably
and
one of the
Harvey,
best. Like he was going head to head with Harvey by the time the series finished.
and that's a big deal.
Yeah,
I love the way they really did make Harvey like the best of the best,
yeah,
and it was consistent. It was consistent.
yeah. Even
But
from the
it
beginning.
wasn't like they made him invincible, though. At the same time, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
they
think they did it
still,
Yeah,
perfectly.
yeah, they
they
still
showed him
gave him
seeing a
weaknesses.
counselor and everything.
Yeah,
Panic attacks.
that's what makes a good character, though. Despite how good they may be, giving them something, giving them a weakness, though, kind of adds another dynamic to it. Yeah,
And he wouldn't have been like that if Mike was never in it.
yeah,
Yeah,
That
yeah,
and obviously it's a given that Mike's really vital to the series. But like obviously everyone knows that. But I'm just saying that without Mike, you wouldn't have seen even half of Harvey. You would have just seen Harvey's, the front that he puts up, but
yeah. I
you
think
wouldn't have
like
actually seen what he's like on the inside.
Mike in a way sort of inspired Harvey to be better each day because he'd come
Yeah,
and he'd
that's
like
so true.
challenge his ideas and think of stuff better and it'll make Harvey up his game even, not get complacent.
He's like one of the first people who wasn't scared to say something back to Harvey because Harvey was just used to he could say whatever he wanted to anyone, and then
Yeah,
they'd just say whatever. Like one of the first ever things Mike said was he goes, "You're putting your priorities up there. I'm just putting them up there with you." And I guarantee no one's probably ever said that to Harvey before.
yeah. I think that's the big reason why. Like, obviously, that's why he hired him in the first place. But if you look, the way he was about to not give Mike the job, and then he looked out the room and he saw that all the other lawyers just looked like people that were just gonna be like, "Yes, man," they were just gonna listen to him.
yeah,
I think he wanted
Yeah,
someone that was gonna push him.
yeah,
He
I
didn't
think I
care.
know
They
what you
didn't have
mean.
a qualification. Yeah,
I mean, he was affected the most when Mike left. Like no one felt it as much as Harvey did, except for
yeah.
the people watching it.
Hmm.
But I still do you still think that they could have kept Mike in it, even though obviously Rachel couldn't be in it because obviously
They
she's
could have, but I
princess.
think the only way they could have done it is if like Rachel like completely left. Like if she, like for example, if she like Rachel died, then they could have kept Mike in, but they couldn't leave Rachel like still in the series and then Mike away for that long because it just ruins the whole storyline they built up for so long.
Yeah, see, I understand that, but I still feel like they could have pushed it and just
It would have been better if
not
they did.
pretend, but say Megan's, I mean, say um
Rachel.
Rachel, yeah, say Rachel's at say she goes to university, yeah, to study, and
Yeah,
then in Colombia, and then what's his name? Mike just stays at the firm and he visits her here and there. We don't have to show her.
yeah, yeah.
Because
I
at
think they could have
first I
done
was
that.
like, how is this going to work? And given it wasn't as good without Mike, like, I think that's facts. This wasn't good. No, it was good, but not as good without Mike.
Yeah, because like, even the best episodes for the last few seasons were when Mike was in it. So imagine if they just kept him throughout the whole thing and just developed the whole. Like Mike could have ended up being like so high up in the firm towards
Also,
the
the
end.
fact that Mike wasn't in there, that gave other characters the chance to take a bit of the spotlight. So, like, they could focus on
Yeah,
other characters. Like,
like they brought Samantha in and Alex.
yeah, Samantha was really focused on that car drive. When she goes on with Harvey, and then you learn so much about her past, and you realize that she had such a rough past.
Yeah, because because Mike was gone, Jessica was gone, so they had to bring in two sort of big personalities and create like another sort of dynamic going on, which is why they were focused on so much.
There's no real small personalities except for like Harold,
Yeah,
and even his personality wasn't that small because like it was confident for what he did. The fact that he actually felt like he could challenge Lewis, even though he lost, but
and
he still made that
yeah,
decision.
and he lied in court for Mike. Said he went to Harvard with him.
Yeah, I couldn't believe that. No, but no
Yeah.
one could control Harold really, could they? Like, do you remember even when Mike said, "Don't say anything"? Like, do you remember when they were going through the whole thing,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
they found them two together in public? Like, you
Yeah, he
couldn't
just
control
turned up.
Harold. Yeah, to be fair, and I rated Harold, like when he wasn't saying anything in the courtroom, but in the, when they
He's
were
a
locked up
loyal
in the rooms.
character.
Yeah, he is loyal. He is loyal.
Yeah, he just doesn't think sometimes before he does something.
That's what that was Mike at first. Because remember, Mike used to take into account people's emotions like even a bit too much, and Harvey
Yeah,
like
yeah.
said to him, like you can't just purely go off
You have
emotions
to be
because
like a
then you're
cold
making
lawyer
yeah,
to
exactly.
make that decision. Yeah.
And even though people hated Harvey, he only was where he was because he was cold.
Yeah, definitely.
And then Donna
That's why he was the
provided
best.
that warmth.
Yeah,
That's
so it
why I
allowed
think
him
Donna's so
to be like
underrated.
that.
Do you know who I think, which character I don't really like, really enjoy too much? Who was no, I didn't mind him, but I think you could have had a character who added more. Who was what was his name? Oh, sounds so bad. I haven't watched it in ages, but I remember it. So who are the partners at the firm?
But at the end, what are you
Yeah,
on about, Alex?
is his name Alex? Yeah, Alex. I'm on about Alex.
Alex Williams. Yeah.
Alex Williams. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm on about. Yeah. I just don't think they could have. Like he obviously they tried making his life interesting, like when they brought in his wife and stuff like that. I just don't think
Yeah.
he was that interesting of a character.
No, it's because like we had like Jessica and Mike to compare those two to. It was never going to be like the same.
Yeah, but even Katrina, she like made a difference to me.
Yeah. I know.
Do you know? I think another person who's really good was what's his name? Travis Tanner. Yeah, Travis Tanner. He was really
Oh
good as well.
yeah.
He was like pure competition with Harvey, and that's why it was so sick. Because like Harvey was never scared of anyone, but this guy in court gave Harvey like that little bit
Yeah.
of Harvey wasn't scared, but he kept Harvey on his toes. And that's what I
Yeah. And
thought
then you
was
had
really good.
Logan Sanders for Mike. It was like the same sort
Yeah,
of
it was like the
battle
little,
going on.
like the younger
It
version.
had that little personal edge to it as well as the professional bit.
Yeah. Do you wish that they used Trevor a bit more, like his character?
Yeah, because he turned up for that one random episode where Mike needed him for the court case, and then he just never turned up. They just showed him with his life turned around. It would have been nice like there's something with him at the end. Even
Yeah, I
like
think
Jenny,
they could have
Jenny
shown
just
more.
disappeared as well.
Yeah, that's so true. He just went. They could have showed Jenny and Trevor more because a lot of Mike's personality is to do with them two.
Yeah,
Obviously,
yeah.
before he was a
But
lawyer, like
then,
main parts of his life, he was with them, so they would have
yeah.
influenced him a lot.
But then they were trying to show Mike trying to move on from that past and work differently.
But surely, I think it would have been really good if they shown some flashbacks of him with like Trevor and Jenny.
Yeah.
Flashbacks would have been good, yeah. Because if they didn't want to show him in the plot, at least they could show like them in the past.
Because I think everyone likes. Obviously, you don't like Trevor's character because he does bad for Mike, but he's still an interesting character to see.
Yeah.
And I think people would have liked that. People would have enjoyed it because they did a lot of flashbacks for Samantha. But then again, that added loads to the. It didn't. Wouldn't say it added anything to the plot, but it added a lot to the characters because you look at her differently. Like you understand why she's so cold, like hearted.
Yeah. I think the most interesting thing about Suits as well is like I was watching like Harvey's actor, I think it's called Gabriel Macht. Watched one of his interviews, and he was like saying how Suits last minute was decided to be about a law firm, but before just going to be like a corporate workplace where there's this sort of like in-house politics going on. So it's like interesting how they spun it like so that it works really well for like the law
Yeah,
sake.
the fact that it's to do with law, that changes so much of it because it's really based around law, and you learn so much about law while watching it.
Yeah. I think that's what's so
I know.
interesting. Like, there's so many like stuff you just learn, and it's like it sounds interesting because you haven't like experienced it before or like seen
Yeah,
that sort of
exactly.
like work before.
And of course, it's all exaggerated, but to a certain degree, like that's how the best lawyers are. They are like they have parts of Harvey in their personality, and I'm guessing they have parts of Lewis as well.
Yeah,
Almost. I'm talking the best of the best because that's what they're trying to represent from the firm. They're trying to represent the best of the best. It's so
yeah.
good. So like, whoever hasn't watched it, definitely recommend watching it.
Well,
Who would
I'd
you
say it's
say is
definitely
your favorite character
it's got to be Harvey, isn't it?
apart from Harvey then? And apart from Harvey and Mike, because
Hmm.
obviously those are like the two good ones.
Lewis.
Yeah, I'd say Lewis towards the
Yeah.
end. He becomes like a really likable guy.
Lewis makes it funny. Like Lewis adds that humor to it.
Yeah, he has that like that sort of humor. Like he's funny without trying to be funny. It's just you laugh when you
Like-
don't. You're not meant to
yeah,
laugh. Just that sort of thing.
Like
Yeah.
it's like facial expressions that he makes and stuff.
Even the stuff he does. I don't know, ruin it if someone has watched it, but like the sort of
he is
things like
funny.
who he's with and like everything about him.
But it shows that he has a lot of like mental struggles. Like he's always like battling with emotions. Like he doesn't know what to think. Like
Yeah,
he's jealous. He's jealous of Harvey, but then he's not jealous at the same time. Like he does love Harvey, but then he is also jealous at the same time.
yeah. He doesn't have to like express himself, which is like weird for a lawyer. Like he doesn't have to express stuff on like in his everyday life. He's just really
Which is
good with it when he's a lawyer.
yeah. That's why it's good that his character definitely develops like one of the most out of anyone.
Yeah, yeah.
Because eventually
He's
he
completely
starts
different to us.
being honest with Harvey as well. Like obviously he does have those moments, you know, when he relapses and then he goes against Harvey and says stuff to Harvey that he used to say back in the day, but not as bad.
Yeah, like especially even do you know like the stage when he found out Mike then went to Harvard. Like the man as
Yeah.
like a viewer, you hate him at that point, and then you can't trust it from at the end
Yeah,
when
the fact that in the end you end up liking Lewis
yeah,
says a lot because he was one of the most hated characters when it was at that point because Mike was the most loved character, and then when someone's going against the most loved character, naturally they're going to be hated.
yeah, like you couldn't even see any reason with what like the sort of things he'd do or say. That's how bad it was at that point.
Yeah, I think surely everyone thought that Lewis just wasn't all there in the head. Like, there was
Yeah, yeah,
something wrong with him.
yeah. He's got like psychological issues. That's why I was like seeing the forgot what the psychologist
Oh, what was his
thing was
name?
called.
The psychologist added on.
Oh,
He was
yeah,
sick.
he was.
He was
And
German.
when he yeah, and when he had that like that issue, and Lewis wanted to represent him.
Yeah, that was good. That was good actually.
What was his name?
I'll try and find it, but in the meantime, Jay, do you remember the therapist?
No.
The therapist. Yeah, I promise you.
Oh, it was
He
called
actually-
Lip Shit.
Yeah, that's it. Dr. Richards. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, he was good. He helped him so much as well. He really did.
Yeah,
Respect it. I respect it a lot. Didn't Harvey was it? Harvey saw a therapist at one point.
yeah. And then he, what was
He was
her
trying
name
to go out
again?
with
The British one.
Yeah, she was British. She didn't
What was
like
her
him
name?
really because she was like, did she like him?
She felt she liked him, but she felt he was just projecting his emotions because like he associated with her with like solving all his problems.
Yeah,
So like
because
she
she was
wasn't
like one of
too
the only
comfortable
people
with
he revealed his stuff to, his emotions.
it. Yeah, I think she just
Yeah.
liked, you know, what he represented. He was just like
Yeah,
a good-looking guy.
she was following the
job.
law, wasn't she? She
Yeah.
was following the law. Like you can't have a relationship with one of your
But then
customers.
he left. The client, but he left like
Client.
the obligatory like time until that time was over.
Yeah, actually, that's so true. He was sneaky with it.
Yeah.
Sneaky. Any last words for any characters, Jay? Any
Oh, her
character
name
you
was
wanna give a little shout.
Dr. Agard. Paula.
Oh, that does not even ring a bell. But I know who it is, but it doesn't ring a bell.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Any last words? I don't know.
Anything you want to say? Any comments you want to make on any of the characters? Little shout outs.
Well, shout outs. Shout out Lewis.
You have to shout out Lewis.
You
have
got to
to
shout out
Lewis.
Lewis. No.
Oh wait, we didn't even shout out Rachel.
Oh yeah, but come on.
Rachel's a big character.
Yeah, big character.
Do you know what was like
yeah.
interesting in like the flashbacks?
Quick end.
when it was showing like Harvey with Charles Sportsman, how he had that dodgy deal. That was like a really interesting bit.
Yeah, and also when they showed Harvey's mentor,
Yeah,
and it was like
yeah.
it showed where Harvey came from, especially when they brought Harvey's dad back, like the flashbacks.
Yeah.
And then
And
he
even
learned
like
that his
when
dad cheated on his mom, and he never told his dad was cheating on him. That imagine that
Yeah.
like that was sitting with him his whole life, and he knew he never told him. That's crazy. That was
Yeah.
really good. But quickly going back to Rachel, she is one of the biggest parts of the whole series. Like it was one of the biggest steals that she was not going to be in it. It was almost like people cared more that she wasn't going to be in it than Mike, like to a
Yeah,
certain
yeah.
degree.
But I think like her profile became really big because of the wedding and everything. Like, I
Like
think
her
Suits
actual
probably got a lot
profile.
more views because of that.
Yeah, definitely. But I remember we were watching it way before she was anything
Yeah,
to do with being royal, part of the royal family.
yeah.
And she changed Harvey a little bit because she changed Mike, so she would rub off on Mike, and then Mike would rub off on Harvey. So ultimately,
It was
parts
like a
of
cycle,
Rachel would
isn't
rub off.
it?
Yeah, literally. And then I don't know who Harvey would just like rub it off into the world by like acting different.
Yeah,
I respect it. I remember at the beginning Harvey's thing was like he'd throw money at everyone. Do you know what I'm saying? And say, all right, we'll solve your issue. We'll give you this much money. But then near the end, like, as it progressed, he started instead of doing that, he started dealing with the people's emotions that he was working with.
yeah.
Big
Because like
time. I
even like
noticed that.
Harvey was like saying how like the money didn't matter to him. It was like what it represented, like his status in the firm. That's
Yeah.
because he represented. He thought of money just as like status. So he thought by flashing all this money around made someone feel like they were important to him. But really, it took him time to like understand it's not just about that.
I mean, do you remember when they were revealing how much money he made? And it was like it was some stupid
Yeah.
figures.
It
But
was
they didn't actually say what figures it was, did they? Fully.
well, they
Or
were
didn't
making like
Lewis found
a
out?
million per like some cases.
It was more than that.
Yeah.
Like for no, yeah.
Yeah, but the
Like
firm made like
Harvey,
20 million for some cases, but
but
Harvey must have been
Harvey's
taking like a
yearly
big chunk of
fee,
that.
yeah, his yearly fee was like over 100 million.
Yeah, without commission.
That's crazy. And that's when Lewis was getting jealous, wasn't he? Because when Lewis like made sure he found the papers or something.
Yeah, and he was paying Don his wage
Oh yeah, to keep her in the firm,
without
didn't
telling
he?
her. Yeah, because she was earning like 4 times the amount of any other secretary in New York.
Well, we didn't because if I'm not wrong, didn't he tell what's the manager's name again? Jessica. Didn't he tell Jessica, "Oh, I'll pay her wage if you keep her"?
Yeah,
So that's probably that's why then, isn't it? And
yeah,
then he
because he
probably just
wanted to
chose to
bring
pay her
her.
more because he thinks she deserves it.
Yeah, because when his wage was increasing, he felt that she was a part of it. So there's that
Yeah,
proportion.
I respect it. I respect it. See, that shows how much of a nice guy he actually is.
Yeah,
Because no one asked him to pay her more. Oh, like she didn't even know he was paying it.
yeah.
That
She
says it
just
all. Like he
the
didn't feel
fact
the
he
need
didn't
to
say
tell
it,
her.
he didn't even rubbed it in.
Yeah, exactly. That's one person he always appreciated. Like
Yeah,
even before Mike and everyone, I think he always appreciated Donna. He just didn't know how to show it.
she was the only one there that was there from at the beginning and the end, like the equal amount.
And she
It
really
never changed.
understood him in comparison to everyone. Like he
Yeah,
understood that because she knew his past and stuff, so she knew like where he was conflicted and stuff.
yeah.
Say we end it there.
Yeah.
I think we had a good discussion on